The alarm goes off at 5:30 a.m. Most people hit snooze. I used to be one of them. But 7 days ago, I made a decision that literally transformed everything. I'm not talking about some massive life overhaul that requires months of discipline. I'm talking about 5 simple habits that created visible, tangible changes in just 1 week. And the crazy part? Anyone can do this. Let me be real with you for a second. A week ago, I was exhausted all the time. My productivity was terrible. I'd wake up feeling like I hadn't slept at all, drag myself through the day, and collapse into bed only to scroll on my phone for another hour. Sound familiar? I was stuck in this loop, and honestly, I didn't think anything could change that quickly. But I was desperate enough to try. So I researched. I dove deep into what actually works, not the fluffy, motivational stuff that sounds good but doesn't deliver results. I found 5 habits that kept coming up again and again from people who had genuinely transformed their lives, and I committed to doing all 5 for just 7 days. No excuses, no half efforts, just 7 days of going all in. The first habit hit me the hardest because it's something I'd been avoiding for years: cold showers. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. That sounds absolutely miserable. And you're right, it does. But hear me out on this one, because the benefits are insane. Every single morning for the past week, I ended my shower with at least 2 minutes of pure cold water. And I'm not talking about lukewarm or slightly cool. I mean teeth-chattering, breath-stealing cold. The first day was brutal. I stood there, hand on the knob, psyching myself up for what felt like 5 minutes. When I finally turned it, my body went into shock. I gasped, my muscles tensed up, and every fiber of my being screamed at me to turn it back to hot. But I stayed. I controlled my breathing, and something incredible happened. After about 30 seconds, my body started to adapt. My breathing steadied, and when I stepped out of that shower, I felt more awake and alert than any cup of coffee had ever made me feel. My mind was crystal clear. There was this rush of energy that carried me through my entire morning. By day 3, I was actually looking forward to it. The cold shower became this daily reminder that I could do hard things. It built mental toughness right at the start of my day. And the science backs this up. Cold exposure triggers the release of norepinephrine, which improves focus and attention. It reduces inflammation, boosts your immune system, and increases your metabolism. But beyond all the physical benefits, it's the psychological edge that changed everything. Starting your day by voluntarily doing something uncomfortable sets a tone of discipline that bleeds into everything else. The second habit was something I'd heard a million times but never actually implemented properly. Drinking water first thing in the morning, not coffee. Not checking my phone, just pure, simple water. A full glass, at least 16 ounces, before anything else entered my body. Here's what I didn't realize. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is dehydrated. Your cells are literally crying out for water. When you reach for coffee or food first, you're ignoring that fundamental need. So I put a large glass of water on my nightstand every single night. The moment my eyes opened, before my feet hit the floor, I drank the entire thing. The difference was immediate. By day 2, I noticed I wasn't as groggy in the mornings. My headaches, which I'd always attributed to needing coffee, disappeared. My skin started looking clearer. My energy levels were more stable throughout the day. It seems almost too simple to matter, but hydration affects literally every function in your body. Your brain is 73% water. When you're even slightly dehydrated, your cognitive performance drops. This one habit created a domino effect. Because I started my day with water, I found myself drinking more water throughout the day. I wasn't reaching for sugary drinks or excessive caffeine to fight through afternoon crashes. My body was finally getting what it actually needed. The third habit is where things got really interesting. I implemented a strict no phone rule for the first hour of my day. This one was harder than the cold showers, if I'm being honest. We're so addicted to our devices that most of us check our phones before we even fully wake up. Emails, social media, news, messages, we dump everyone else's priorities and problems into our heads before we've even had a chance to think about our own.
So I made a rule. My phone stays on airplane mode until I've completed my morning routine. No exceptions. The first morning was genuinely uncomfortable. I kept reaching for my phone out of pure habit. My hand would stretch toward the nightstand, and I'd have to consciously pull it back. It felt like something was missing, like I was forgetting something important. But by removing that digital noise, I created space. Space to think. Space to be present. Space to actually plan my day instead of just reacting to it. I started using that first hour for things that actually mattered. I journaled for 10 minutes. I reviewed my goals. I did some light stretching. I actually ate breakfast sitting down, tasting my food, instead of shoveling it in while scrolling through endless content.
The mental clarity this created was unbelievable. I stopped starting my day in a state of anxiety and comparison. I wasn't immediately seeing everyone else's highlight reels and feeling behind. I wasn't letting other people's emergencies dictate my mood and priorities. I was in control. And that feeling of control and intentionality transformed how I approached everything else.
The fourth habit addressed something that had been destroying my productivity for years. I started time blocking my day, every single day, the night before. Not just a vague to-do list that I'd probably ignore. I'm talking about assigning specific time slots to specific tasks, treating my time like the finite, precious resource it actually is. Every evening, I spent 15 minutes planning the next day. I looked at what needed to get done and assigned each task a specific block of time. Deep work from 9 to 11, meetings from 11 to 12, lunch and a walk from 12 to 1, more focused work from 1 to 3, admin tasks from 3 to 4, exercise from 4 to 5. This wasn't about being rigid or robotic. It was about being intentional. Here's what happened. Without time blocks, I was constantly context switching, checking my phone, wondering what I should do next, getting distracted. My brain was in decision fatigue mode all day long. But with time blocks, I eliminated decision fatigue. When 9 o'clock hit, I knew exactly what I was doing. No thinking required, just execution. My productivity doubled. Actually, that might be underselling it. Tasks that used to take me 2 hours were getting done in 45 minutes because I was fully focused. I wasn't multitasking, which science has proven again and again doesn't actually work. I was single-tasking with complete presence, and the quality of my work improved dramatically. But here's the best part. By planning my day in advance, I also scheduled in breaks, rest, and activities I enjoyed. So I wasn't just working more efficiently, I was living more intentionally. I made time for things that mattered instead of hoping I'd get to them eventually. The fifth habit might be the most important one, and it's something that took me years to understand. I started practicing gratitude, real gratitude, not just going through the motions. Every single evening before bed, I wrote down 3 things I was genuinely grateful for that day. And here's the key. I couldn't repeat anything. I had to find 3 new things every single day. The first night, I wrote down the obvious stuff. My health, my family, my home. Easy. But by night 3, I had to dig deeper. I had to actually pay attention throughout my day to notice things worth being grateful for. A good conversation, a moment of sunshine, a problem I solved, a lesson I learned, even a challenging situation that helped me grow. This practice rewired my brain. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, what I didn't accomplish, or what I still needed to do, I was actively searching for the good. And what you focus on expands. The more I looked for things to be grateful for, the more I found. My mindset shifted from scarcity to abundance, from stress to appreciation, from anxiety about the future to presence in the moment. Studies show that practicing gratitude reduces stress, improves sleep quality, strengthens relationships, and even boosts your immune system. But beyond the science, it just made me happier. It made me realize how much I already had instead of constantly chasing what I thought I needed. By day 7, I was a different person. Not dramatically different in ways others might immediately notice, but fundamentally different in how I felt. I woke up with energy and purpose. My mind was clear and focused. I was productive without being overwhelmed. I was present with people instead of distracted. I went to bed feeling accomplished and peaceful instead of anxious and restless. 5 habits, 7 days, and I'm not going back. These aren't temporary changes or some challenge I completed. These are now part of who I am. Because once you feel this good, once you realize what you're capable of when you're operating at your best, you can't unsee it. You can't go back to settling for less. The most powerful realization was this: transformation doesn't require massive changes. It requires small, consistent actions that compound over time. But you can see the beginning of that compound effect in just 1 week if you're willing to commit fully. So if you're watching this feeling stuck, tired, or like you're just going through the motions, I'm challenging you. Pick these 5 habits. Commit to 7 days. Not half-hearted attempts. Full commitment. Cold showers every morning. Water before anything else. No phone for the first hour. Time block your days. Practice gratitude every evening. 7 days, that's all I'm asking. Because if it can change my life this much in 1 week, imagine what it could do for you. The version of yourself you're capable of becoming is waiting on the other side of these habits. And trust me, it's absolutely worth it.